Can you feel it in the air? Hello YouTube, JM Sports 100 here, and I am jacked because it is Thursday, September 9th, 2010, which means the first NFL regular season game is upon us. However, this isn't just a regular game, it's an NFC Championship rematch from that barn burner of a game that we saw last year between the Minnesota Vikings and the eventual Super Bowl champion New Orleans Saints, which is a tremendous story after everything that the city of New Orleans had been through. Of course, this game wouldn't necessarily be getting the attention that it's getting if it didn't involve Gramps Brett Favre. If you remember last year in the NFC Championship game, Favre took an absolute pounding. Were all the hits legal? Not necessarily. But they hurt him nonetheless. Screwed up his ankle. He had to have surgery. I believe that he is making the biggest mistake of his life coming back. He loves the game. Yeah, I get it. We all know it. But he's gonna cripple his body, man. I know a thing or two about having a crippled body, being in a wheelchair. It sucks. You know that the Saints are going to come after Ruff. They know. In fact, not just the Saints, but the other 15 teams. Well, not 15 teams, but in the other 15 games he also is slated to participate in this year. They're going to go after the ankle. They know the ankle is injured. They know it's a weak spot. They know that the ankle is not 100%. Favre was receiving cortisone shots after preseason games. Preseason. Games that he wasn't playing the full 4 quarters in. If his ankle can't hold up in a preseason game where he isn't playing the whole game, how is it going to hold up for 60 minutes? You have to think that Favre also has to be questioning what he's getting himself into. The Vikings are depleted. The secondary for the Vikings is toast. And we'll talk more about that in a second. The receiving core is toast. Sidney Rice is out for the next 6 weeks. Percy Harvin, who passed out in camp a few weeks ago, had to be taken to the hospital by ambulance. He's got the migraine issue, and they say they have the migraine issue solved, but if they don't, then what? The Vikings, I believe, only have 4 or 5 receivers going into this game. And if Harvin is having the problem, Bernard Berrien is probably going to get a lot of the snaps. So nothing against Bernard Berrien. He's a pretty good receiver. He was good in Chicago, good in Minnesota. But They can't do it. Not without Percy Harvin, at least. And for the Vikings, it would be nice for them to have Sidney Rice. Um, Adrian Peterson. Yeah, he could carry the Vikings on his back. But the one thing that Adrian Peterson has, the one problem he has, is putting the ball in the turf. He does it too much. Did it a lot last year. And he says he's better this year. He's done some work in the offseason. He said that the fumbling was a lot of just mental issue um, that he had. Maybe it was. Maybe it was. Who knows? And I talked about the depleted secondary of the Minnesota Vikings. Hello? They're going up against Drew Brees tonight. A man who had blistering numbers last year as far as passing yardage. There is no way the Vikings secondary is going to cover Drew Brees. It is not happening. There's no doubt in my mind that Brees is going to have himself a monster game. I don't know what to expect from this game, though. I'm saying shootout. I'm saying it's going to be a shootout. Because the Saints also are missing a key component to their secondary, and that's Darren Sharper. Darren Sharper is also on the PUP, the physically unable to perform list. So he's going to miss the first 6 games. That's big. Do we see a game quite like the NFC Championship game? It's hard to tell. Personally, I think that Brad Childress and Brett Favre are going to kind of have the referees in their back pocket a little bit in this game. I don't necessarily want to say that Brett's going to get, that Favre is going to get babied, but that might be the term we have to use. I really don't think that the Saints will get away with half the hits they got away with in the NFC Championship game. In the end, I don't think the Vikings have a chance to win this game. I don't think they do. I will be very, very surprised if they do win this football game. I don't think they can do it though. Not with the depleted secondary, the depleted receiving core, and Favre. Favre needs options. I think he showed that throughout his career. He needs options as to where he can go at the ball. If he doesn't have, Percy Harvin is playing tonight, I believe, but if he doesn't have Percy at 100%, and he doesn't have Sidney Rice, then that's going to be trouble. He doesn't have even with Percy, he doesn't have a Donald Driver like receiver like he had in Green Bay. A receiver that you could pretty much always count on to catch the ball, to make plays. Um, I'm not saying blowout by any means. I don't think the Saints are gonna blow the Vikings out. I might be wrong on that, but I don't think they do. My prediction for a final score on this game is 36 to 28. 36 to 28 is my prediction for a score, and my prediction for a score is going to be way off. I can almost bet it. Um, I don't want to go over. I don't want to make this a two-part video, so I'm just gonna slam some things in here that I'm gonna be doing throughout the NFL season, and I'm gonna also when I preview the other games next week or on Friday, not next week, on Friday when I preview the other 15 games, I will go over it again. Every week I am going to go with a lock pick. I'm going to do my own survival type thing. Just see how I do. So I'm gonna make a guaranteed lock pick every week, and we'll see how I do with that. Also, like I said, previews of every game, a recap of this game probably, um, but it won't be there won't be recaps of every game, just this one. Like I said, in the end, 36-28 is my prediction for a final. Saints win. Drew Brees has himself a big game. Favre has himself a mediocre game. Peterson, I think, has himself a good game. But we'll see what happens. Big thing is, I'm ready for football. Another thing I am going to say about the Saints, though, I don't think they repeat as Super Bowl champions. I really don't. I think that's too hard of a feat. I don't think the Saints have quite the year that they had last year. I don't believe that. Um, I don't think the Vikings nor the Saints make it to the Super Bowl. I don't think they do. I don't think either one of them, personally, I don't think either one of them make it to the NFC Championship game. If either of the teams does make it to the NFC Championship game, I believe it'll be the Saints. But I truly don't think that either one of the teams will. I think they'll both be good. I think they'll both make the playoffs, but I don't think they'll make it as far as the NFC Championship game. So there you go. That's my thoughts for that. This might not be the best video. Um, it's been a while since I've done a preview like this, so I apologize. All I have to say is go Saints. I'm not gonna lie. I'm totally being a Packer fan. I am totally Saints 100% in this game, and I'm picking the Saints. That's my pick for today, and yes, I am going to keep track of my picks, and yes, I will pick every game. So, alright, that's going to do it for me. I am JM Sports 100. Let's get ready for some football!